What's going on, guys? So today on this Shoky review, we're going to take a look at the new Gundam Figurized Mechanics Haro. And by now, of course, you guys have seen the announcement for the Balls for Balls contest, of which this is one of the featured kits, not to mention one of the prizes. So I picked this up a little while ago here locally and paid way too much money for it. But of course, you guys won't have to do that. But it's a new version of the Haro. We do have the Haro that has previously existed, which is tiny little dudes that are actually round about that size, maybe just a little bit bigger. But the new one is not quite this big, so they kind of lie to you just on the box. Either way. So you got Haro doing a thing, and then you got Haro in mechanical form, then you got Haro right there in clear form, which that's the thing. Bandai Spirits 2018, Bandai logo down there, the new Spirits logo. And you come down here, you got the Figurized Mechanics. Our system allows you to build character robots starting from their eternal mechanics. You can assemble Haro while enjoying its inner structures. That's true. And I think at least the previous mechanics line was a Raleigh from Dr. Slump and Dragon Ball Super. I forgot about that kid, and I was talking to Thomas about this, trying to figure out what that was. But here you have a nice exploded view there, which actually makes it look kind of like Lego, which is strange. Then you have the inner mechanic eyes move accordingly with gears, enabling recreation of emotions. I said recreation. Display stand is included to display the model. Yes, it is. And you got Haro, Genki, life. It's lifelike size, which I guess is kind of true, because at some point Haros are smaller. Otherwise, they're the size of like a basketball, so it is what it is. Clear exterior also allowed you, or is also included, so you can enjoy the internal mechanisms even after completion. That's true. Arms and legs have pull-out structure, do not require exchanging parts. Love that. And you come around to this side, and you've got Haro here in the clear form. Figurized Mechanics, Gundam, Haro, Bandai Blue Bandai. And come back to the side, and you have all of its exploded form. All the good thing, create Haro plastic model kit, blah, 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 and nice renderings there. That's pretty cool, actually. And then you've got all the internal mechanisms, all the stuff in the box. Hey, this thing slides inside there. Lighting unit, which I do have, so we'll take a look at that. And all the things the eyes can do. Shh, shh. Don't look at that yet. Spoilers. Spoilers. Got little guy with the toilet. You got things up here. Plastic model, no glue required. Choking hazards. Please don't choke the children with a Haro. They take that away from me. I don't get to have that funness anymore. Now, something else we noticed. There is no yen price on the box anymore. It used to be right here, which was very, very useful. So, at least on these, they don't have it. And then we looked at some other kits that Thomas had also gotten, and it did. So, it's a weird thing. But maybe they're getting away from that in the new setup here. So, that's it. It may be a ball. It can totally be turned upside down. Alright, so let's get to it. Alright guys, so here we have the Figurized Mechanics. I keep wanting to say full mechanics. Wrong line. Haro. And I do have it in its clear green shell for a couple of reasons. One, because it looks pretty cool, even though I don't like clear things. In this case, I like the way it's done. Two, because you can't... It's an escalation of gimmicks, so to speak, to do it this way. So this is actually pretty neat because you can see some of the details in there. Plus, it actually allows you to see the very nice molding that is on the inside of the shell. So the outside of the shell is actually, pretty much smooth with the exception of the panel lines. But it has all this really nice molded detail on the inside that you're never going to get if you can't see it. Now, you could probably paint it reverse, so paint just the inside and probably bring out some really cool designs. And actually, in the future, I might actually do that. I have a couple ideas for what to do with some of these Haro kits in the future, which may or may not tie into Balls for Balls. It just depends on when I get it done. But either way, it looks pretty cool there. You can't really see the things here, but they're there. One thing you can see is actually the tiny Haro that is in its brain. I don't get it, but it's pretty cool one way or the other. And yeah, like there's not a lot to look at out here. One thing you can do, we'll go ahead and transform him just for the heck of it. So you can just grab a hold of the foot and pull it out. Grab a hold of the flap up here. Grab you a hand. And just sort of work them out. I've had a couple issues with the hands, and I don't know if it's just me or maybe it's a universal problem. Especially this side, it keeps getting stuck. But the way the elbows are designed, so to speak, to come out, I keep having problems, especially popping the hands off. So everything is basically a ball joint inside of a ball joint and then captured with the sleeve. I keep popping the wrist joints out when trying to pull these things out or get them back in. So there he is. He's kind of like, "Hey, I'm a Haro." Yay! And you can set him on the little stand there, which is molded in this really nice kind of silverish, almost titanium stuff kind of color. I really do dig it, though I'm not sure why it has this underneath. The only thing I could, no, it doesn't even look like it would work for that, but I don't know, it's a thing. But you can almost get it to stand without it. You just got to balance. It's all about balance of probability, or the probability of balance. Son of a bitch. Okay, so I forgot a phone call, but hey, I got him to stand. I had to point the feet pretty much straight down, but it does work. They are on a hinge up inside here, and then another cool hinge for that. And like I said before, these are all individual ball joints. I mean, you're not going to get a massive flexibility out of it, but a decent range of motion. In fact, could be like the wheels, like you want to move around. They do, in 0G, they tend to flap their little covers here that has like wings. That's pretty funny. Saw that a lot in 00 because, well, Haros have been around since the beginning of Gundam and then in multiple different forms. It just depends on the series. But I've always enjoyed the design. I always liked it. And I really hope they give us more of these, except they're probably all going to be P Bandai in different colors and stupid things. They do have a hinge right here for the wrist, just to be able to do that number. And my problem is when I'm usually trying to push this arm in, that's when it wants to pop this particular ball joint out. There's a slight complication. It's on the inside, and I'll show that off when we get there, but it's all in how the arms collapse. So let's go ahead and take a look at that inside real quick. Go ahead and de-shell him, so to speak. It's pretty simple. So you want to take the kind of eye plate or face plate off. And then you want to pop the bottom one. The bottom one's actually real easy to come off because it's only really held on here. And then it very lightly tabs in up there, which is a problem I do actually have later. The back section comes off in one big chunk. Like it should. Can't grip it. There we go. And you can see they're just on these kind of slide on tabs. Wow, that wasn't supposed to happen. There we go. Much better. Okay, so he started taking himself apart there. Mind you, these things are supposed to come out, so it's not bad. It's just dumb. Actually, that's not going to work anyway. So got all the shell out of the way. We'll go ahead and pull off these covers. Basically, what I'm doing is stripping them down for the next chunk after this. Now, you do get these cool different colors. This is a nice dark titanium color, not quite silver. And then the rest of the insides are all lighter. And then it does kind of two-tone its way around. That's pretty awesome. And I'm trying to figure out why it's an R back here. I don't know if that's a reference to something, but it looks pretty cool. I don't know. I like the layered effect here. So you have the darker stuff on top of the lighter stuff, which is panel lined in there. Panel lined all over, which you gotta be careful. I don't think there was any ABS. I could be wrong. I have to go back and look at the thing. It should be okay though. And I'm leaving the feet on for right now because they are a bit of a pain to remove. But what you want to do is you want to open this guy up. And that's how you adjust the eyes. Just this little toggle right there. Now, one thing I don't understand is that there's this right here. There's an arrow telling you to point the thing right there. Now, I don't think I put this together wrong. I'm pretty sure I put it together right, but I don't know. It's really strange. But that's how you get your look. So that's the kind of sad look. There's the normal and then the angry. or evil look. The tiny Haro that's in the head can be removed if you kind of break it all down. He's just plugged in there, but you can totally remove the eyes, which we're going to need to do because we want to get to this. Now, I assume this is some kind of memory core or something. It's pretty cool. So it's got a big H on it. It's a nice little block. Looks like something. And it's got 0086 or 9800, whichever one technically it is. I don't know. This is pretty cool. Nothing goes in it, which I find really strange because it does look like it can totally hold stuff. And if you look inside there, if the light will go, you can see the way the arm pistons work and the elbows that are hidden up inside there and the quote-unquote shoulder joints that are back in there too. I knew the Haro wasn't quite squared away, the little baby Haro. I don't know if that's technically part of the design or they just wanted to be funny. But I like the trap door up here, which actually looks like an A, so you got like an A back there and an R. Maybe it says Haro and there's an H somewhere that I missed. I'm not sure. But that's the eyes right there. And the reason why this matters is because we're going to put on the lighting kit. So this is that same kind of lighting kit you would get with the F91 if you're going to go that route. And why won't it focus? I don't know what's going on with my phone today. It's got 3 LR44s or equivalents in there, which is pretty significant. You do have to assemble this, so the wires do plug in there, and you do have to put the gray plastic pieces on over the LEDs. Now, of course, the gray plastic pieces are to help insert into the eyeballs, which if you're slightly squeamish, look away. Where's my slot? There it is. Okay. So there you go, and you can just flip the switch, and you can see they're like that. Not super bright, but they're bright enough. Which, considering the amount of power in there, is really strange that they're not any brighter. Now, if you want to run this into the body, you got to have the switch facing downward and forward. And you want to wrap the wires under, make them flat, and then back over like so. And then you want to insert that right down the middle hole with the wire going between the shoulders. And then it tucks away just like that. And then for the rest of it, you just kind of want to push the wires back, tab in the eyeballs. Go ahead and kind of rotate them a little. There's a little tension there from the LEDs. And then this wants to go in underneath there, around the eyeballs, and then just boop, close it up, and now you've got its face. The only downfall of this is that you have to open it up, and it's not easy to get to the switch. I wish they'd put that on the front face of it, not that far back in. You have to have something to reach in to turn on the lights, like so. So just for the sake of things, I'm going to turn it off. But that's how you do the lighting setup, which is pretty cool. Mind you, the lights are a little bit extra. There's like 20 some odd dollars in that, depending on where you get it. So if that's a thing you really absolutely have to have, you can. Now, the option otherwise, if you don't have the lights, it does come with stickers that can go on the surface of the Haro to simulate the eyes. So there's no big deal there. So that's kind of how you want to remove those. You got to get a thumbnail or something underneath it and then pry up gently, especially considering it's all clear plastic and you're pulling it from metallic plastic. So it's all kind of a scary situation. Okay, so there's that. Now what we're going to do is go ahead and dress him back. Move all the clear pieces out of the way. Move all this stuff out of the way. And we need the regular green, foot covers. And it's a little harder to do with these because you can't see how you're lining things up, but you can get it. And just kind of squish them in. Go ahead and put the foot back on. Might line that up without even trying. Squish it in, shove the foot in. You want to grab the back half. Now, the only real way you know what you're doing here is that these tabs here will be on the top side. So you got top and the bottom. Obviously, you can tell the difference by following the line of the body. And you want to just line everybody up and slide them onto their corresponding tabs. Like so. And so there's your back half. And then you grab your flaps. Let me push that in just a little. Technically, you can do these first if you want. And just line them up, slide it in. Basically, it's a whole lot of lining up and sliding in. That sounded bad. Either way. So, you want that. So, we're back to the ball face. Yeah. Now, you've got the front cover that goes on the bottom. And this is the problem I have with mine. So, basically, you're just going to line up just the bottom section, push it in, and then make it fit. I got no problems most of the way except for that. I cannot get that in. So I don't know if it's a mold problem or something. It just does not fit enough to hold tight to the body. So you gotta have to kind of squeeze it. Now, if you're gonna leave it permanently and never light it up or anything like that, feel free to glue that. Now, the other thing you can do is grab the eye plate, face plate, whatever you want to call it, and slap that on there, and there you have your normal green Haro, which is, of course, the new mascot for Gundam as a series, or Sunrise as a studio. So, that's pretty cool. You flap it. Oh! Yankee! Either way. But no, sure. Whatever Haro says. It would be cool if it did come with like a voice box or something like that. Though that's always something you could probably pull off in the future. This is seriously annoying. Which this alone right here is why it will be displayed in the clear body, despite the fact I don't like clear things. Now, one other cool thing. We can go ahead and pull off this. And go ahead and pull this back off because we need to turn the lights back on. Flip that open, get in there to the switch the lights. Oh, the other way I can show off the lights is by turning my lights off in here so you guys can see it better. Forgot about that. Now, it does come with this faceplate, which is something it was showing off in the box. And it's a solid kind of faceplate, but you can see right through there, you can see eye holes that are totally cut out for that. And if you do it this way, you can actually see the eyes through the body. Look at that. But this is, once again, a reason I should turn off these lights at least. So, that's pretty cool. Now, I think the batteries might be getting a little low because I've been playing with it for a little while, but you can usually see it pretty well. It's a little bit blurry. Now, there's one thing I did do. Hold on. So, there you go. It can't even focus through the light. I did take a little bit of sandpaper to the inside to try to make it a little more see-through. So that is something you can definitely do. Just, you can see I've sanded it quite a bit. Just don't sand it too harshly or you will go through it. But if you really want those lights to shine through a little bit clearer, that's a good way to do it. Now, the other thing we can do, we can come down here and we can play with the eyes. So we can go with the sad face. That's not the right thing. So he's got now the sad eyes. It's really weird. It's like the lights are on the wrong side. Maybe I need to flip them over. I didn't think that would be an issue, but now it looks like it might be. So you pull it back out. And then you do it the other way, and you can have the evil eyes. Which I'm a fan of, because I like the evil Haro from 00. Though if you do paint this thing purple, there's no good way for that light to come through. So that's a problem. Yeah, see, there's no good way for this to stay in. So now he's evil Haro-chan. So, yep. I might need to flip those LEDs. I don't know if that's actually a problem or not. Let me do that. Okay, well, it proved that directionality does matter because I flipped them both and ended up with this kind of strange look. So the LEDs are in there a little bit wonky, but I do think that the batteries might be getting low. I don't know how old they were. That's one problem you'll always run into. But hey, if you're down for it, you can always rig up a separate whole light switch and USB plug or anything like that if you're up to doing that. But, you know, otherwise, he was pretty cool. But guys, that's going to be it for this horror review. You thought it was going to be a quick, simple little thing, but not so much. So this guy's actually pretty cool. If you can get it for a decent price, which is about 20 some odd dollars, that's absolutely worth it considering what you get. Now, I do know that there's some people who are like, it's not big enough, it should be a 1-to-1. Well, then you can, by all means, go find that not so easy to find 1-to-1 Haro kit with all the electronics and all that stuff like that, basically building your own real Haro. By all means, go get that. I think this is pretty cool. In fact, if I can, if they do a certain variation of this, I'm absolutely buying several and doing some cool custom work. I have an idea already in my head. But yeah, I'm going to keep mine with the clear body because this is a problem. Of course, being that it is a really nice sphere, you can totally paint these things. Why not? Obviously, I've sort of challenged you guys to make custom versions of this or even a regular Haro if you're going to go that route. Or Haro I should say. So there's plenty of cool stuff you could definitely do with this. And I dig it. I dig it a lot. I think the lighting gimmick could be done a little bit better. I don't like that particular light up set, or that lighting set. I think it's really dumb. At least the way it's engineered. I think they could have definitely done it better. I would have liked to have used this somehow instead. Like, if they had managed to put that entire setup into this, that would have been great. Like, I mean, there's even holes in this, like, for wires to seemingly come out and stuff like that, or even, like, in theory, they're designed to look like each other. So this was molded to be the same shape as the battery pack. But I wish they had integrated this into the thing so you didn't just have a whole piece just laying off to the side. But other than that, yeah, Haro is definitely worth getting, especially over Haro Pla if you're going to go there. I really want different variants. I hope they don't go all P-Bandai with it. I feel like that might be really dumb. But yeah, other than that, that's it, guys. There ain't a whole lot else to it. If you like this, if you love some Haros, go ahead and give me a big old thumbs up. Hit that subscribe-ish button. If you want to help support the channel, you can always do so via the Patreon. You can see that here on the screen, or get your Shoky shirt, which is also on the screen. Either way, it all goes to help this channel. But that's it, guys. I'll catch you on the next review. And remember, as always, Haro, 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 Haro. Vanisher. Loco.